Hello everyone, welcome to Lolo Sex Chat. My name is Lolo Cynthia. So today we're talking about masturbation, precisely how to masturbate without toys, how to masturbate without dildos, vibrators, and any of those things that you bring into the bedroom. If you're just starting masturbation, you're starting the journey of masturbating, or you've been masturbating regularly with the toys, it is so beneficial to learn how to manually masturbate, because toys give pleasure, yes, they heighten the experience, but they take away something. They take away self-knowledge. You cannot learn about your body if you're using just toys. You don't know how your body works if you're using just toys. So if you're using just toys, you don't know how your clitoris receives pleasure. Maybe it likes direct stimulus or through the cloth. Those are things you don't know. You don't know if your left nipple is more sensitive than your right. You don't know the parts of your body that if you squeeze, you really feel some form of pleasure. You don't know if you squeeze your thighs, you like the pressure that comes with that. Those are the things you really do not know. And also in terms of what's happening in your mind, if you are using a vibrator, you can easily just zone out and let the dildo do the thing. But if you're manually masturbating, you have to be present. So it allows you to learn about how your mind is functioning during those moments of pleasure. But I know this is just talk. How can I do it? It is hard. How do we do it? So there are a few steps now. The first one is to forget the idea of orgasms. I know it is counterproductive, but when your idea of masturbating is just, I want to orgasm, I want to come right now, it's going to be very difficult for you to get into manual masturbation because it takes time. If you haven't done it before, it takes time to actually get there. So forget about the idea of orgasming and coming, and focus on the pleasure. Focus on how your body is responding to touch. Focus on the pleasure that comes from that, because there's so many things and so many waves of emotions that we experience before orgasm that I think we discredit because we're waiting for that big one. So forget about the orgasm and say, this is just a moment for me to learn about myself, learn about my body, learn about the things that make me feel good. Even if you don't buy into the idea of masturbation, there's absolutely nothing wrong in you doing it just to learn about your body. If you take away the idea of just orgasm, it means that you're just literally doing research on how your body functions. That's the truth. So forget about the idea of just almost orgasm at the end and focus on being present. Focus on enjoying the pleasure that you're getting from touching yourself. Focus on the knowledge that you're getting as you touch yourself, recognizing that, oh, this place, you know, feels good. If I rub here, it feels good. If I rub here, it feels good. So those are the things that you want to start off with. Give it time. Usually, because you're not used to this, manual masturbation, your mind can drift. The truth is, you can be masturbating and you remember, oh, Jesus Christ, are you sure that my food on the fire? Because you're not used to it. You can be masturbating and you even feel funny. It's like, what is this? Nothing is even happening. Are you sure I'm doing it right? Are you sure there's nothing wrong? You know, those are the things that can come into your mind, but you need to give it time. I recommend that you schedule time for this. I know it seems like this one is overdoing it. I'm not. You have to schedule time. It takes time to actually learn how to masturbate. Not everyone, no one woke up and knew how to masturbate and have sex and be a pro in it. It takes time, and with time you need to actually practice it. So schedule it and practice it. Give yourself the time. Maybe on Fridays, you say this is something that I want to do once a week or twice a week, and these are the things I want to do. Okay, and this week on Thursday, I want to focus around my clitoris and my inner thigh, and I want to see how those places work. On the next Friday, I want to focus on my boobs and my lower thigh. I want to see if I'm rubbing my thigh and I'm rubbing my boobs, it feels good. So those are the things you want to really put into your schedule. And also the idea of seducing yourself. I always say this, you have to seduce yourself. We have been taught, or we believe, that those things that people do for us that give us joy and pleasure cannot be done to us by ourselves. That's not true. When you go for dinner and you put on your nice perfume and you're having a nice dinner with someone and nice wine and blah 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 blah, the conversation, blah blah blah, you like it. It makes you feel good. You can do that for yourself. You can literally have your bar, wear your perfume, wear your beautiful dress, and go for dinner and learn. You don't know, you can talk to somebody there and just make yourself feel good. You can decide, okay, I don't have money, I'm still a beginner, I don't have anything. Okay, days like this, I'm going to take a nice walk, come back home, have my bath, go to my bed early, maybe wear my favorite panties that I feel makes me feel sexy. Those are the things you want to do to seduce yourself, to get your mind into it, because arousal for women takes a bit of time. I've done a post on different types of arousal, but for women again, it takes a bit of time, and it's not just the physical, it goes into the mind. So you want to mentally prepare yourself for what's going to happen. So seducing yourself is a really nice way to get yourself, you know, ready for the event. Remove the idea that masturbation is this extra thing. Yes, I'm talking about seducing yourself and going for dinner and doing things that make you feel good, but I'm doing this as a form of self-care. You know, when you do, those are the things that I would normally do as a form of self-care. Going to restaurants, having a nice meal, having a conversation with a total stranger. I like things like that. It makes me feel good. So that's basically self-care. It's not performance, which is what people believe female masturbation is. A lot of people think that, oh, a woman has to masturbate, that means maybe she'll put a red light, wear lingerie, get all her toys in place. Now, that's the idea. Masturbation for women can be just as mundane as going to pee or eating your food. You decide to make it exciting. You decide to put certain things in it that makes it exciting for you. So don't look at it as something that is a performance. If you have watched porn of women masturbating, they are performing. They are masturbating, recording themselves for you. So even the thing they are doing is, they are not doing it to arouse desire in themselves, they're doing it to arouse desire in others. And people assume that that's how all women are meant to be. So we look at men who masturbate and people don't want things is sexy. People just say, oh, he's masturbating because he's doing it for his own desire. But a woman is masturbating and everyone's right, oh my God, how is she doing it? Is she using toys? Is she? Because we believe that female masturbating is done to bring out desire in other people. So take that away from your mind, that it has to be some form of performance. There's no performance. There's no one way to do it. You can literally take your time. If you're making mistakes, you're making mistakes. Nobody should know. Forget about how you look in that moment. You want to look sexy. If you're looking for yourself, yeah, but if you're thinking, am I doing it right? Is this how women in TV are doing it? Is this how I'm meant to do it? Take that away from you. You're not performing for anybody but yourself. So that's something you need to put at the back of your mind. The next one is, what are the materials that you can use to get ready? Now there is porn. I mean, we all know that there is. You can read erotic books, you can listen to erotic movies, even just your imagination is a very great way as well. Sexting, if you have a partner, if you have someone that you're sexually involved with, you guys can dirty talk, things like that. You can sex just to get your, you know, your body in the arousal state. If you are using porn, this is a very nice trick. Two tricks actually. The first one is, if you're not used to those kind of graphic images, or if you're not even comfortable watching it, because in as much as we talk about porn and masturbation and things, not everyone is comfortable. Not everyone is comfortable turning on the video and seeing the guy and the girl doing that. It can be a bit too graphic. What I would recommend is that, one, you switch off the video and just listen to the audio. It's a very simple trick, but what it does is that it forces your mind to think of images on its own. So all you're doing is you're hearing the ones, and it ensures that you are not distracted, because if you're just starting manually masturbating and you start watching porn, you can take yourself away from what you're doing and you're now focused on the video that you're watching, and it can make it difficult for you to get yourself in the right space. So listening to the audio only is just a really nice trick that forces your mind to think of scenarios, that forces you to put yourself in a very erotic position without seeing other people do it, because again, our senses work with us. That's why morning is so erotic. Even when you're having sex with someone, you know, you don't want to be with a guy that does not make any sound. It's not nice. So listening to those is a way to bring that desire in you. Another trick is lesbian porn. I just have to bring this. If you are watching the normal heterosexual, no, man woman kind of thing, it can be a bit more graphic, can be a bit too graphic, where they're not even focused on the woman. It's just scattering up and down, leg. You might be turned off by that. It might be just too much for you. It might make you disassociate, drift from what's happening, and it becomes a performance, because now you're just watching this. What is not happening here? However, if you do listen to, or if you do watch lesbian porn, because it's a bit more erotic, it's a bit more, I don't want to use the word gentle, but it's more sensual than the normal porn, it can get you there. And if you're watching that with just the audio, I mean, that's a killer combination right there. So that's just a pro tip for you. Another pro tip is Kegels. Kegels is like strengthening your pelvic muscles and your core muscles. Basically, that's English. Basically, when you want to hold your pee, the way you hold that muscle, I'm pressed, but I can't. That muscle I want you to be able to train that muscle without wanting to pee. You can be able to hold that for a few minutes, maybe a minute or 30 seconds, and you release. When I just did it, I do it often, just randomly, and I just do it. What that does is that when you are masturbating, it can really intensify your orgasms when you do your kegels right in the middle of rubbing your clit or things like that. And it's a trick that even works when you're having a partner sex. If your partner is inside of you and you do that trick, murder. Basically, it's really good because, again, this is what it does. It contracts that muscle. So if your partner is in you and you are contracting, you're literally squeezing your vaginal walls on the penis. Same thing with masturbating. If you're rubbing your clit or you're fingering yourself or whatever it is, if you squeeze that muscle for yourself as you do this, it intensifies the orgasm and the sexual experiences. So those are certain things that can make it easy for you to get on the manual masturbation journey. I'm telling you, I cannot emphasize how beneficial this is, because once you've learned how to do this, you use it not just for pleasure. If you're stressed, you can masturbate and just to distress yourself to start your day. If you come back from work, your brain is still very active but your body is tired, you can literally just do this so that you can pass out. Like so many people don't masturbate nowadays just for pleasure. Some people do it for other reasons, and learning to do this without having toys around makes it so much more easier for you to do whatever you want to do. Another point I wanted to mention before I forget is that you can use the things around you. Normally, things like even pillows can be used. You can hump on your pillow. You can even use your pillow. If you put your pillow in between your thighs and you squeeze on it. If you cross your leg tightly, that's a way that you can rub those plates together and you feel pleasure. These are things that, like the one of crossing leg, is something maybe if you're 14, 15, you might have, recognized by mistake. You're like, what's going on here? Isn't it sweet? So that's one way you can get pleasure. That I want you to experiment. I want you to try different positions, different materials, and just get yourself there. Recognize it's going to take time for sure, and you need to breathe. Just breathe. Mindfulness, bring yourself back into that place and enjoy yourself. So that's all I have for this week's talk on LoloTalks Chat on how to manually masturbate. I'm really excited about the month of May because it's Masturbation May. So many of my topics are going to be around the issue of masturbation, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Put yourself in the comments. I want to hear from you. If manual masturbation is your thing, let me hear. If you are still struggling, let me hear. If you have private questions, you can send them to me. One-on-one consultation is paid. Please, I cannot answer every single person. If you really want to have a one-on-one conversation, an in-depth conversation, send me a message and we can schedule a call, and we'll get into that. Do not forget to share this video. If you really enjoy this, share this video. If you know that there's someone that needs to hear this without even teaching them, just send the video and say, who be this smart girl? See what should they talk? Use style and give her that video. Let her know that she needs to hear it. So that's what we have. That's all I have for today. I hope you really enjoyed it. My name is Lolo Cynthia again. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye bye.